Hello. All right, guys, no matter how hard we try, we can't really stop the hands of time, but we sure can make aging graceful. Christy Hall with Skin Appeal is here to tell us how we're going to do that. Christy, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
And we're actually going to do something to help this aging graceful happen. You're actually going to do a seminar, right?
Yes, we're super excited to host a seminar at the Stillwell house downtown. And my goal with that is to really kind of teach about anti-aging and all the treatment options. Many people have a lot of myths about what can be done, or they're just basically confused about what can be done. So I really want to do an educational event on that. So, you know, we'll talk a lot about skincare. We'll talk a lot about dermal fillers and actually do some live demonstrations. And we'll also talk about body contouring, which is kind of a new thing in the last several years, of how to get rid of those unwanted fat cells without surgery.
So this is the perfect thing for someone to come to. If, like you said, they hear things, they're not sure what's true, what's not, what's good for them, what's out there.
Exactly.
This is kind of a good and overall seminar.
Yes, so I love educating people, and I think the more education someone has, the better they can make good choices of what's going to be important for them. So whenever a patient comes in to me, I love kind of figuring out what their goals are and determining what's going to be the most appropriate treatment sessions for that person.
And I think that's really important, and this is a perfect avenue to do that, is some people think, well, all of us, is it just everybody kind of gets the same thing? But you're right, it's very personalized. What are your goals? What are you going after? And that kind of comes into that aging gracefully, because this may not be a one thing, it's a magic wand, but we're saying aging gracefully is kind of the goal of that, right?
Yeah, so I mean, what I see as aging gracefully is really, how do we keep that fresh look? How do we not look so tired? And how do we keep the brown spots away from the sun damage? Especially here in Arizona, we get so much sun on the skin. And people just don't really know. And then skincare products. There's so many products on the market, it can be quite overwhelming. So to help people learn what ingredients to look for and what's going to be important, they're actually going to spend less money over the long run and get much better results.
And as you were saying, you love to educate people, and you are doing this actually for everyone. All they need to do is RSVP, right?
Yes, RSVP to our event. We save a seat for them. It's a free event, so it'll be super fun and really educational. I've done smaller versions of this within my office, and they've been super successful. So we're just trying to take it more out into the community to, kind of encourage people to learn more about what can be done.
And you also, like you were saying, you have the live demonstrations, and we're actually going to look at some pictures here at some before and afters. This is kind of, like you said, along those education. So kind of talk about each one of these before and afters.
So this is a patient of mine. She's been a patient for several years, and we didn't do this transformation in one visit, but basically this is a combination of laser treatments to make her skin look healthier and more refreshed, dermal filler to kind of replace the volume changes that we've seen. So, in her first picture, she looks kind of tired. She looks a little too gaunt, and so just kind of softening out those features, opening up the eyes again to make her look more rested. And, and my thing is I don't want people to really look done, and I think that's one of the biggest fears. Really filler and these kind of things need to look natural and not really look like you've done a lot. So the irony of it is you want to have the least noticeable result.
Yeah. And so what about this?
This lady here, I mean, she's very active in the workforce, and that's another kind of huge population for my patients is, when you look tired and you look worn out, when you're competing with younger coworkers, you get a kind of a misperception for those people. So, I kind of hid the fat bags under her eyes with, dermal fillers. We've done some skincare to brighten up her skin. So she looks more refreshed. She looks less tired, and it's been really a nice transformation for her.
I definitely think the eyes were the big one with that one.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is a midsection.
Yeah. So body contouring is huge. We all have problem areas, especially the older we get, the harder it is to lose these things. And so now we have non-surgical ways to reduce the fat. We use Vanquish and Excelus in our office, which has been really, really successful, and people love to lose 2 to 4 inches in their waist with really not doing a lot of hardcore dieting or starving. Or
Well, and like you said, even if, some of us exercise and everything, there are always those stubborn things. And it does get harder as we get older
Totally.
to grab those little spots. So this is
Yes.
maybe the perfect thing for somebody out there. So I'm going to remind them how they can RSVP. Again, hit them with the date and where it's going to be, Christy. But thank
Great.
you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, you are invited to an educational seminar by Christy Hall titled Aging Gracefully this Thursday at the Stillwell House. To RSVP, just call 261-SKIN. That's 261-7546. To learn more, visit myskinappeal.com.